Hello, my name is Rich Wilczewski. I'm a retired chemistry/engineering teacher from Morristown High School, and I'm making this video of my lesson planning methods, primarily for my successor at Morristown, or anyone else who might be interested. I'm going to follow this agenda here. The agenda is based upon files that I've uploaded to a Google Drive here, called copies of files for the incoming teacher. And I'm going to start with the pacing guide, talk about my daily lesson plans, how I use my daily lesson plan Excel file to make lesson plans for my supervisor, how that ties into the curriculum, how I have all my assignments listed in a spreadsheet with Google assignment numbers, how I'm going to go over a matrix spreadsheet that ties everything together, and then a skill and concept spreadsheet which lines up all the individual objective and skills to the items in the worksheets, the tests, the quizzes, and finally the final exam and midterm. Okay, so first the pacing guide. Pacing guide, this is the one that I followed. You want to keep in line with your co-teachers, anyone teaching the same course at Morristown High School. That's very important. It lists the topics here: lab safety, introduction, atomic theory, electrons, and so forth. These excuse me, these units line up with objectives that I'll show you in just a minute. The arrows indicate the alignment between the level 3, which is the first column, and the level 2 curriculum. Red arrows indicate topics that are covered roughly within the same month, and the black arrows are topics that are covered on significantly different time frame. So next I'm going to talk about my daily lesson plan file. This file here is the one I use every day. It's a spreadsheet. It has each day of the week and each date lined up. All the classes are also there, the times that they meet, and it's divided into sections. The due are assignments that are due on that particular day. The objective is the materials that are covered. These objectives are often names of lessons, and sometimes they're a PowerPoint. For example, this Matter and Change PowerPoint here, I covered from slides 1 through 35. So the slide numbers of the PowerPoint are actually in the lesson plan. So the next day I'll pick up the slides, hopefully around 36, the next number. I'll also have assignments listed here, and those assignments, each assignment has a unique number, and that's listed in a spreadsheet that I'll share with you in just a minute. And that also lines up with tests and other assignments. And the homework for that's given to the students that day is underneath the homework tab. So I use this spreadsheet here. Now this spreadsheet goes back, notice the name of the worksheet. The worksheet we're on is 1-4 capital Q 2022-23. That's the lessons for the first through fourth quarter of the school year 22-23. This spreadsheet goes back about 10 years. There's also two versions of the spreadsheet, the normal version, which you may have trouble opening because it's so big, and I also put a short version. It does take a while for this, even the short version to open up, but it'll give you data going back about 10 years. The worksheet next to this, called L2 Chemistry NGSS Email, these are the objectives for the entire course. So in this column here, I have all the objectives that are listed. I have the unit, the subunit, the chapter, the section. These objective numbers are very important here. The objective numbers give you the chapter and the section. For example, this is 1-2.2. That's the second objective in this chapter. And the 207 is a very unique skill number that lines up with the Understanding by Design spreadsheet. So every skill that we want the students to learn is documented as a particular item. I call that a thread because it follows throughout the whole course. These numbers can be found as footnotes in the PowerPoint, as well as worksheets, quizzes, and the test and the exam. So back to this lesson here. They're color-coded by the month that it's covered in. Since I have tenure, I've turned in my lesson plans by month at Morristown. Green for September, right? Then blue for October, and so forth. So these are what was covered in the previous year by color code. Now what I'll do is when my lesson plans are due, I will just cut and paste the objectives that are being covered, and I'll put that in my lesson plan file. Notice here that the objective numbers are often at the tail end of the objectives themselves, so if you copy them over, they go with it. And over in this column here, the AP column, are links to the next generation science standards. So it links you right into the particular standards. So I cut and paste this and put it into a lesson plan document, which looks like this. So here's an example of September's lesson plan from a previous year. I didn't copy over all the columns, just the ones that I said, so that way it has the material in it. The other part of the lesson plans is called the methods and methods part, and this lines up by the units again. So this is for the first unit here. If we go back to the original spreadsheet, the lesson plan spreadsheet, there's a tab called Student L2 Chem Email Student PERINA. This is where I have the performance indicators. That makes the second part. So likewise, I copy and paste the section of objectives that I'm going to cover into my lesson plan file. So if you look here at the lesson plan file, it has the objectives in one tab, copied and pasted, and the performance indicators in another tab. And I'll do that for all my courses and upload it to my file for my supervisor. Okay, the curriculum, let me pull that up for a second. That curriculum, that document is also in the Google Drive. This is the curriculum written by me and Miss Shepard. I think it was about 2017, 18, and it has in it the pacing guide again, and it has the individual objectives. So these are all the objectives that are in that spreadsheet, and I call your attention to the numbers here. Each objective has a unique number for the chapter, title, section. We were using Morristown Martin Chemistry by Holt back then, and then this particular number here is the thread number, which lines up with the particular skill set you want the students to learn. So the assignments, so in the lesson plans, when I give an assignment out, that assignment has a number to it. Like this is assignment 752, for example. There's a spreadsheet called the Google Classroom Assignment and Announcement Sheet, and this has every assignment, well, not every assignment, but most of the assignments. Each assignment has a unique number. There's a title for the assignment. There's also a description of the assignment, and this description in this column J here is all the wording that I would put into the Google assignment, a Google Classroom assignment. So I made a Google assignment, copied and pasted this in there, and then there would be attachments. Typically, for the beginning of a unit, I would start with a PowerPoint, and there'd be a student version of the PowerPoint, there's a teacher version of the PowerPoint. The students would get their version. Their version does not contain things like quizzes and activities that are in the teacher version, of course. There's also a PDF that they can print out where there's blanks that's made from the PowerPoint or Google Slide, and they can fill in the blanks as we go. This is assignments that I often gave them as homework or sometimes in classwork. Then there would be worksheets and quizzes and so forth, and those worksheets, if they were take-home worksheets, they would be attached to this assignment. The file name for all those documents are in this attachment and links column section over here. So if I had a particular worksheet, the file name for that worksheet is there. Now, those files can be found on my teacher drives, which I've shared with everybody. Then there are often links to videos. All of my, well, most of my lessons, I should say, have videos on YouTube And you can also find the links to those videos in here, which would also be part of the students' assignments. They would get the assignment, the PowerPoint, the PDFs of the PowerPoint, the links to the Google, the videos on YouTube, etc. It'll all be in one assignment. That's the assignment I give at the beginning of the unit. Now, one thing about the numbering here, when I improved the assignment significantly, I gave them a new number. So, and I left the old ones in the spreadsheet. So if you're looking for an assignment, look at the highest number for that assignment. That would be the most current assignment. There's spaces here I've left for my own organization. You can ignore those or fill them in with your own work. Make a copy of this and make this yours if you want it. I'm not telling you what to do, just giving you some options here. Okay, a matrix spreadsheet. I also have a matrix spreadsheet which lines everything up. So in the column I here, I have the names of the units, same as what you find in the pacing guide and the curriculum. And then I have, with that, I have a Google assignment number in column, so column F is the name of the unit, column G is the Google assignment number again, same as we just talked about. There's a PowerPoint for the Google assignment, the file name for that. There's a teacher PowerPoint, the file name for that. Yes or no if I have student blank notes for that item. And then I have all the worksheets, quizzes, and things that are associated with that unit in this spreadsheet. And also the answer keys. So the answer keys here are in this brown/orange color. I have a column here that indicates I have YouTube videos. Now, this is important. I have listed here quizzes and tests. These quizzes and tests also have assignments, like in that assignment spreadsheet. Those numbers, like in the assignment spreadsheet, those numbers can help you track. These tests and quizzes are on Edulastic. An Edulastic website, I made my quizzes and tests public, so you should be able to find them by searching on that unique number. We used these a year or two, so a lot of the bugs have been worked out of those. Not all of them, but most of the bugs have been worked out. If you can't access that Google assignment, Edulastic test or quiz, contact me and I'll share it with you because I have my personal Edulastic account right now. Okay, also, if you go to the far right here on this spreadsheet, you'll see there are also file names for other materials as well as the links again to the videos, the YouTube videos that I've made of my classes. YouTube videos are really the PowerPoint with my voiceover. You would get, so if a student was absent, they would get the same content that they would get in the classroom by following those videos. Okay, I have one more spreadsheet to share with you, a skill and concept spreadsheet. It's called UBD, Understanding by Design. This may take a while to open because it's kind of large. Apologize that this is taking so long. I'm going to try to open it up on my computer. Okay, while that's loading, the skill and concept spreadsheet lists all the skills that we test on that we expect the students to get during the course of the chemistry class. Okay, there it is. So the numbers that I showed you before that are part of the objectives are listed here in these yellow boxes. So, and though, I'm sorry, the white boxes. So those numbers, like 208, is this particular skill. So in here we've listed the question as it would appear in the different assessments. So ideally, you want them to learn something. You have an example of that in the PowerPoint. Then you have example of that in the worksheet, example of that in the quiz, example of that in the chapter test, and then in the final exam. And the key here is to make those opportunities to demonstrate their skill a different wording, different numbers, different chemical names, different chemical formulas, but the same concept with a different framework. So that it is the same skill set throughout, that you're asking them to do and practice multiple times before they're finally graded on it, but it's a different context. So it's not recognizing exactly. So if they memorize how to do something word for word, it's not going to help them. They have to really understand it. And that's the challenge, to make these things different. And this spreadsheet ties all those together. Okay. My personal email is there. Please contact me if you have any questions. I'll be glad to help you out.